Like it feels, when I was first in this position, I felt a lot of pressure in my lower back, and I feel almost none right now.
Yeah, so what that is the muscles relaxing.
I mean, I
It's
can.
much more relaxed.
Yes.
Wow, okay.
I know.
Let's see, that's good. That's
Magic.
a good initial, yeah. A little bit more. There we go.
Oh, that feels amazing.
There we go.
Like I feel like I don't have to like protect my body when I walk.
Yeah,
That's what I feel like now.
Yeah. All right, Carly. So what's going on?
It's just very tight in my lower back, and it feels to me like my hips are out of. I mean, I just feel like I'm very cocked to the
Twisted?
right. Yep.
Okay. And when did this start?
Monday, late morning.
Okay. And did it come on out of nowhere? Were you doing anything?
I did an Orange Theory workout earlier in the day at 5 a.m. and I would say about 2/3 of the way through, I started to feel tight on the right side.
Okay.
I did continue for a while, and I only called it probably about 5 minutes before class was over, so I probably did do a full 55 minutes of...
You felt it right away or pretty early on? Or?
No, I mean, I really didn't feel anything on the treadmill portion at all. It wasn't until we got to the floor where you're doing a lot of weightlifting, and then that coupled with, like that day we were just doing 250 meter, like all out rows.
Okay.
So like you're rowing pretty hard.
Yeah.
And then back to the floor. And then like you would do it for a certain amount of time and then go back to the floor.
Okay. All right. And since then, it's been pretty severe?
Yeah, yesterday was... The rest of the day on Monday ended up being pretty terrible. Couldn't really sit or stand. Neither was comfortable.
Okay.
Each step was pretty unbearable, to be honest. And it almost seemed to be worse on the left side, even though it was the right side that was bothering me. Like this step seems to be more jarring.
All right.
And then yesterday was the day I was pitched the worst. Like when I walked into PT, I was a full-on like candy cane.
Okay.
So then after the dry needling there, I did feel quite a bit of relief just from the tightness in my right butt cheek.
Okay.
But other than that, and I was able to stand up what felt like straighter at that point.
Okay.
Just I think from the release of that tension.
Okay.
And then I really just kind of laid and kind of just sat in whatever comfortable position for the rest of the day. And just worked from home.
Kind of bothersome?
Yeah. I mean, after that, I noticed that like getting up, I really just had to focus on kind of being calm about it, honestly. To not like tense up and make it worse. But all movements were pretty bad. Like there were no times where I was pain-free yesterday at all.
And you did a little bit of PT. Was that yesterday?
Yep.
And how was that?
That was fine. I mean, to be honest, she didn't do much. I saw a fill-in, and she
didn't know you well.
No, I mean, and I mean, she didn't really even look at like my alignment, like with my initial PT. She's usually the first thing she does is she's checking my hips and like checking my, just the way I'm standing and everything. Sure. She didn't really do that. I think just because I was in pain.
Sure. Okay.
It was more just about like techniques to not like, she was telling me to rock like sit bone to sit bone. And like before I get up, it was a lot of this, like do this stuff. And I was like, oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and she did like have me, I was on the back on the table for a while and she was doing something around the hips, but like nothing.
Okay. Let's just take a look at your posture here, and then we're going to take some x-rays and we'll get you adjusted.
Okay. Am I all the way back on that one?
You're good. Yeah. Just try not to lean against the pole. Yeah, just hold yourself, and let's see where you go. Yeah, so you can... your pelvis. So yeah, right now you're carrying about 40, 50 pounds more on the left side of your body And that's coming from that hip displacement to the left. And it's pulling your torso is going to the right, but it's pulling your whole body to the left. And that could be why the left side is more jarring, is just because there's so much, you're carrying so much more of the load of your body than you're supposed to. All right, let's have you come on out. Lay on your back for me.
Okay.
Yeah, and take your time.
Like all of that is fine. It's then this that ends up being the roll back.
Yeah. So your right leg is about a ½ inch probably shorter than your left, maybe 3/8. And it's not actually shorter.
Yeah.
What's happened is you're just kinked and twisted, pulling this leg up. So that's the first thing we're going to want to see, is this relax and get more level and balanced. And then we'll want to eventually, the posture can take a little bit longer to change, depending on a few things, but we'll want to eventually obviously see you standing much more centered. Let's have you sit up facing that way.
Okay.
And take your time, take your time.
Might have to roll.
That's all right. You're
Or, oh, there we go. Okay.
Any specific movements worse than others?
I mean, me just trying to get up or down, like from a laying position, is pretty bad.
Okay.
Even like I've noticed standing, it's fine while you're using mostly your legs, and then as soon as you have to kind of hinge up,
Yes.
that's when I end up having an issue.
Okay. Let's have you go face down.
So, what about this? Should I move it to the side?
Wherever's comfortable, yeah, whatever. So
I mean, I'll probably be fine. I just didn't know if it would be.
Okay, and just lift your right leg straight up, knee straight. Yep, good, and down, and the left. Okay. Pain with both of them, more than the other.
Pain-wise wasn't actually terrible. It just feels more tight. Like I wouldn't call that pain.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you can just feel everything here is super, super locked up.
Yeah, I mean that's what it felt like yesterday. It felt like cement.
Yeah.
Like completely immobile.
Yep. All right, we're gonna take some X-rays, figure out, get and then we'll get you adjusted. Hey guys, all right. So we got Carly here. We got about 8 millimeters of hip tipping. L4 really close. I feel like it's going to the right, and this just helps us decide how we're gonna block the head. So I'm gonna go with that. It's very, very close. So we're gonna watch that. She's kind of this is obvious, her nasium. It's obviously right laterality, head's tilt. I took to 4 straight too. So this is the x-ray lots of times. When you have a lot of head displacement, you take. So you force the head straight and you see where the atlas is, and it's obviously high on the right quite a bit. So she's definitely a right laterality. Way up, head's pretty darn centered. So obviously right, big misalignment here. She had a major trauma when she was young. You can see that in her x-rays. She got 3.5 degrees of head tilt, 4 degrees of lower angle. Her plane line is a ½ inch. So that's this top bone in the neck is kicked up a ½ inch on the right. That's a lot. Now her vertex, very, very close. And she has a scissoring effect. So the atlas and the C2, and I'll show you, they're twisting in opposite directions. So this C2 is twisting this way and the atlas is coming this way. That lots of times creates a lot of pressure. She hasn't talked about headaches, but you'll see headaches lots of times with that. 3/4 of a degree, it's not a lot. Looks like a bit of asymmetry too. So it could be no rotation. It's very, very close. So she got two of the 3 measurements are close. So we'll adjust her, we'll see where we're at with things. And then we'll go from there and make sure make sure we get it corrected.
All right, let's have you sit up facing away from me, and we're gonna have you lay on your left side.
Do you want me to sit up or should I just stay here?
You can just stay, whatever is easiest. So your shoulder's gonna go here, your head's gonna go here, your ear's gonna go in the hole.
Okay. Maybe I will sit up.
Yeah, I know.
No, I mean, it's okay. I don't care. I'll deal with anything if it'll get it.
Yeah, we're gonna get you fixed up.
Why am I not up high enough yet?
Your ear should be in the hole. So
okay, there we go.
And I know it's very different, so if you have any questions, please ask.
Okay. Do you need me to get my hair out of the way?
No, it's all right.
At least I washed it for you today.
There we go. So there's three kind of key measurements. It's how we block the head, which is basically level or sharp. The height vector, so for you it's going to be 5 inches high. And then the rotation vector, and that's for you it's going to be 3/4 anterior. So the top bone is rotated forward. And when you get them all right, then the head will center on twist and the body will center on gravity, and it'll help relax that low back dramatically. So we just hold a light sustained pressure on that angle directly on the top bone of your neck. And that's why I put those little BBs on your ears to know exactly where the atlas is located. It's a little, usually right around the ear, a little different for each person.
This is interesting.
Are you feeling anything? So it's very different.
No, I do. Like it feels, when I was first in this position, I felt a lot of pressure in my lower back, and I feel almost none right now.
Yeah, so what that is the muscles relaxing. And it seems kind of crazy, but the reason for that is the brainstem is centered here, and that's what's controlling this.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, some people don't feel anything. Some people feel their body relax. I always usually feel my body relax a little bit. Some people will feel a little bit, a tinge of pain. That's lots of times ligaments and tendons just changing position, changing tension. And because this has only been going on a few days, those are usually the cases where lots of times you see a huge change. Now, not always. Sometimes things are sitting there building tension for a long time and you just don't feel it.
Right.
But it's a good sign that the pain isn't shooting down your legs.
Yeah.
That's usually means there's connective tissue, like disc involvement. That's usually then when I'll do decompression, and we still maybe we'll do a little, we'll see. But that lots of times will just take a lot longer to heal. So if swelling's most of the reason for the pain, you probably get a lot of relief pretty quickly. If it's more tissue damage, then it could take a little bit longer. So we'll have to, there's no real good way to figure that out.
I feel like those last two, like I almost feel like I could feel my hip, like.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. You can feel things pop or release or relax.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So come on up.
Okay. Interesting.
What's that?
It's just interesting.
Yeah, it's different. It's very different.
Like, but to be able to feel it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like to feel that, like, release is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Let's have you go on your back.
Okay.
When you really get to the underlying cause, then the results are going to be oh, that's so much better. Okay. So it was about a ½ inch short. Now it's probably a quarter.
Ooh.
So that's very, very good.
Yeah.
We want to see that hold tomorrow when we check you. But just for now, there's going to be a lot of kind of releasing. So let's give it 10 minutes to rest. Just take some deep breaths.
Okay.
And then we will recheck you, and then we can actually adjust the back itself and the hips.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah. Good. Really good. Okay. Let's check your posture standing.
Okay.
And come up slow. There's still going to be some swelling and things in there, and it might be really tired.
Yeah. Oh.
So
I don't know what to do.
go on your side.
Side,
probably.
yeah, probably. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. I should have probably had you bend your legs up. That would have released some of that pressure on the low back a little bit more.
Oh, thank you.
Just take your time. Already though.
Yeah, I mean, I
It's
can.
much more relaxed.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
I know.
Let's see. That's good. That's
Magic.
a good initial. Yeah, a good initial response. Let's see how you're standing, and then we'll adjust the back itself and do some things.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Much better. Still a little bit off to the left, but it's not bad. And what was it, about 40? Now you're only about 20 pounds, so it's really good.
Okay, good. Yeah, it feels like less pressure.
Yep. Come on out, and then we're going to have you... now I'm going to have you go face down.
Okay.
And lift your right leg. Good. And the left.
That was much easier.
Yeah, that looks much better too.
Yeah, much easier.
Way different. Any tension with either one?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to have them laser the low back, and then we're going to do some decompression.
Okay.
And we'll go from there.
Sounds good.
So I don't think we'll actually even... Yeah, everything's moving way better now. Just check this too, just see if either one of those SI joints are locked up or not.
Yeah, that's what my aunt thought from I mean, she's also a PT.
Yeah.
And I talked to her on the phone last night because I'll be with her this weekend. So I was just letting her know she may have to tend to me.
Yeah, we're gonna open these up just a little bit.
Okay.
See, I'm not going to force this with it being so locked up. I may not want to release yet, but lay on your side.
Which one?
Sorry, yeah, there are two. Lay on your left side.
Okay.
And I want to just see if we can open up these SI joints. Take your time, yeah. this.
Even that feels better. Like I think I was moving timidly, but it's not.
Bring your left arm through.
Or?
Yeah, bring it all through, Carly.
Okay.
And then we're gonna go here and here. We're gonna straighten the bottom, bend the
Okay.
top, bend this leg.
Bend it, okay.
Yep. We're gonna bring this around.
Okay.
All right, and then we're gonna just see if we can get yeah. And right. Oh, I know. A little bit more. There we go.
Oh, that feels amazing.
Let's have you come on up.
Okay.
And I just want to see how you walk
Oh,
a little bit.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a big difference.
holy smokes.
So it took me a long time. Sometimes you can be like you were, way more centered when you're standing. So globally, overall body is in better alignment. But an individual joint, SIs are very common,
Yeah.
is still locked up and can create a lot of pain. So just walk a little bit for me. And
Holy
let's see.
cow. That was,
Yeah, you're already taking longer steps. You
Yeah.
can see that.
oh my gosh. That was it. I mean, the like immediate pain.
Yeah.
Like,
So that joint was still real fixated, and that can create a lot of pain. So that's an adjustment where you're not actually changing alignment. Even though you hear the crack, you think things are moving, you're just mobilizing it. So you're taking that joint to its end range of motion. And there's a kind of a tension relieving, tension releasing quality to that. Now, if you get back up and you're still crooked, that tension's gonna come right back.
Yeah.
That's why you hear some people that's like, yeah, I go to the chiropractor, I feel good, but 2 days later I'm back to the same again. And then it becomes a budget and scheduling nightmare. And the reason for that is you've gotten into gravity and you're still twisted, so the tension comes right back. But if you can clear this, then release the tension, now it won't come back.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense.
So, all right, let's. All right, so we're just gonna kind of open those up. Is that okay?
Yep.
Just release tension. It's going to take pressure off the facets and the discs and things like that. I don't want to overstretch it because then the muscles can spasm. Hey, why not?
I know.
Let's check you out.
Okay.
So how has it felt today?
I mean, exponentially better.
Good. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Still gets tight after, especially after sitting for a while, but
You're not totally over your back,
no, I mean,
but way better.
yeah.
Come on out. Weight distribution is much better. You see you just walk just a couple steps for me. Yeah, however, wherever you want to go.
Wherever.
Yeah. No, you can tell you're just, whether it's conscious or subconscious, you're willing to take a full step.
Yes, I definitely was not yesterday.
Go on your back.
On my back.
Yeah. And just ankles just off the edge of the table.
Okay.
Let's see how that right leg, that was really contracted yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're good standing all day, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I think I will be when I'm.
Oh, that's so much better.
I know. I mean, I can just feel it.
Wow. Good. And you held it. That's great. Your x-rays your posture is better, so your x-rays are probably fine, but let's just go. All right, so really good case here today. This would be really good for the docs if there's any new docs out there that are doing upper cervical, NUCA. This will really help you in your learning. It took me a long time to understand this and made some cases I had in the past much more difficult than they needed to be. So with Carly, objectively, one, she feels 100 times better. It's always a good sign. Two, well, that's subjective. Objectively, when she lays on her back out of gravity, her legs are balanced. The right leg was almost a ½ inch contracted. Very good sign, and it's been a day. So that means her brain stem has stayed clear and these muscles have stayed relaxed. Very good sign. When she's standing, much more centered. Her weight distribution went from about 40 pounds to 20 pounds different. So really, really good. A 50% improvement in weight distribution is very good. So 2 really good objective signs, obviously very good subjective sign. Her muscles too, when you feel her back, are all very, very relaxed, and they've stayed relaxed. So that's all tells us that the nervous system is functioning better, and innate intelligence is able to work within the body with less interference, less tension. So that's all very, very good. Now, when we took the A to P pelvis, her hips are a little more level. Good sign as well. Less rotation in the neck, very good sign. But the nasium, when we're looking at the x-ray like this, like when she stands, it looks good. When I have her sit, initially it looks good. And then the head collapsed, the neck shifts over. And I used to think that meant it was worse, or that we were having a 2-phase correction, what happens sometimes. And I was explaining that to her. Sometimes when you untwist the neck, then the head unlocks, so it looks worse, but it's actually, there's less tension on the nervous system, and then you just drop the head into place. But I don't think, because usually if it's a 2-phase, you're going to see it right away. And lots of times their leg will contract again, or the legs will change, or their posture will change. It won't be legs perfectly balanced, standing centered. You need to adjust them again. That's typically not how that works. Now there's an exception to every rule. And years ago, if I saw someone like that, I would change the angle, be like, oh, we gotta, and lots of times they were where we wanted it. It's just the musculature and the connective tissue was too weak and too tired to hold them into place. And if you have people that at the end of the day's work, they've taken a long drive to get to you, you'll see that lots of times. You'll need to have them rest before they're able to stand centered. And lots of times they're in alignment, they're where you want them, it's just the body's tired, and you don't want to change that adjustment, or else you're going to kind of open up a can of worms that can take a lot of work and time to fix. And you were where you wanted to be, and now you've got to get back there. So it's going to be very counterproductive to change the adjustment. So she was short on time. Normally, if they had time, if they're coming from far away, I'd have them rest for probably an hour in our zero gravity chair and then re-x-ray. If they're in town, I maybe just have them come in the beginning of their day in the morning when their body's not tired, or something like that. But for her, I'm going to have her come in the next couple of days, give her body a few more days, and then I'm going to have her rest for probably a half hour and then x-ray her. And I'm guessing if the legs are still balanced and she's still standing nice and centered, I'm pretty confident the nasium is going to look really, really nice. But we want to make sure, and if not, we'll change the adjustment. But because her body her posture, everything, and that's why it's important to have multiple checks, because it's not, when you're dealing with the human body, it's not simple. So you want to have several checks. I've considered adding scans as another objective check. But so yeah, we'll have her rest. When she has the time next week, we'll re-x-ray her, and then we'll go from there, and we'll make sure we get this corrected for her. So yeah, when you're hunched over pretty good, so you're not moving normally in that situation, so you're probably gonna have some aches and pains on you, and you're not walking normally, so sometimes you're like, oh, my knee aches or my shoulder aches, and that lots of times is just your body compensating.
Right.
But there's still gonna be swelling, some tissue damage. So with you traveling, be very mindful of the positions you're sleeping in. Okay. And that's a pretty long flight, so I would try to get up a couple times there and just walk up and down the aisle. Yep, I will. And then you should be fine. If you sleep on the flight, make sure your head is supported. I've had some people, you sleep, and this happened to me once, and you sleep in a terrible position, and you wake up and everything's locked up again. Yeah. So just sleep in good positions, and then just don't overdo it physically. Let's see how you're doing beginning of next week before we start any exercising again. Okay. Because what lots of times will happen is you feel pretty good with the body. If you over fatigue the body, it kind of collapses back to where it was, and then things lock up again. Yeah. And it can just shortens the time before you're back to 100. Yeah. Because you can feel like, oh, I feel good, I feel like 100%, but you can't. You just don't have the stamina or the endurance that you would have. Is basically. Yeah. I do not want to impede. Like, I don't want to not
be able to work out. So like, I don't want to go too fast because
yeah, exactly.
I'm just a little too obsessed with it right now.
And that's good. I know. And once you got a good routine going, you don't want to. It's so nice. You just kind of. You're on like autopilot, and you could still. Well, it's only a weekend, but I mean, once you get out, you could still go. And I tell people this sometimes, just to keep the habit.
Yeah.
Go, but then just
walk,
or do a light elliptical. You know, something.
Don't row. Probably.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't row. Just walk. Maybe a little elliptical.
Yeah.
Nothing with like jumping, pounding, compressing, and nothing super rigorous.
Yeah.
But I do get keeping the routine going.
Yeah.
Because when you get out of that, sometimes it takes a while to get back.
For sure.
That happens to me too. Feet facing just like I was.
I think that's what's happened like every time. I mean, I've been there a million times.
Yeah.
Like something, you get some sort of an injury and then that's what ends up derailing you.
Yeah.
But I'm so mature now,
I was about to say that. So nothing can stop me now. But yeah, that happened to Corey. She had gotten into a good routine, and then she hurt her arm, and then it was like, now it's been weeks, and she hasn't like got back into it, and it's that already looks way better.
Well, and I feel like shoulders are so...
Well, it does so much. It's so annoying.
Yes.
It hurts like hell.
And just the recovery, like if you end up having to get shoulder surgery, the recovery is brutal.
Yeah, the shoulders, you want to avoid that at all costs, because that is brutal. Yeah, that's way more centered. That's really good.
I mean, my spine looks so curved.
A little bit in here. Some of that's not going to go away. That probably happened when you were young, or maybe that car accident when you were a teenager.
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, we flipped.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I was out.
Yeah.
Like that's where the neck happened. I mean, everyone else was out of the car before I even woke up.
Ooh.
So.
Yeah. So lots of times that kind of trauma, you're not going to put the body. It's just.
Yeah.
Even if we adjusted you the next day, lots of times there's too much ligamentous change. You just can't force it back.
Right.
But you can get you back to functioning good and feeling good. You're just,
Right.
You're not going to win a straightest spinal award.
No.
I'm
okay. Someone else can have that award.
Take a seat. It's not that coveted of an award.
No.
And then just look left, right, and straight ahead.
I was telling my mom about the Zoom head.
Oh, I know.
And how crazy that was. That as soon as you said that, I was like, oh my God, my head is definitely to one side.
I think I moved a little. Let's reset. Turn left and right, up and down. Just look up and down, and back to center. See, I just tip the chin. There we go. come on up for me. And then just hair behind your ears. And then look left, right, and straight ahead again. Yeah, you're just fatigued. Have a seat. So what happens a lot of times when adjustments are new, especially if you've had major trauma, the body has a hard time holding the position, so kind of almost the muscles weaken and it looks like you're out of alignment, but you're not. You just it just gets tired. Yes.
Yeah.
That's when this can get a little tricky. So I'm gonna try to be quick here, or we might have to take the X-rays another time.
I thought I did not move an inch.
No, it's not your fault. It's not a conscious thing. It's just one of those.
Oh, my head's already lopsided. Still?
Let me see. No, that's better.
Okay.
Still leaning a little bit, but it's definitely better. So I'm gonna probably take one more. Place your chin on the X-ray. Get you out of there. I'll just sit back. Come on up. All right, so we'll just put them side by side and it's slight, but you can see, not quite. Up here, there's curvature, but let me take this measurement here. See if this is coming in. Yeah, that's nice. So about 2 millimeters, your hips are more level. So
Yeah.
that's about a millimeter and a half. So that's very good. Let's see how it is. That's where it was. So the first one, you'll see the head kind of drooped way over. And that can happen. I mean, sometimes what will happen is, let me see, that's looking like a good idea. Oh, that's the first one. Let's see how this looks. So this little X here is where the second bone in your neck was. Now it's almost perfectly centered. So the rotation's out of there, which is very, very good.
Yeah.
So even though it's probably a millimeter of change, but that.
So is that from the nuca?
Yeah, that's what actually changes alignment. Yeah, over a millimeter and a half. That's a lot. Wow. So yeah, that's what probably was a lot of that was probably when you were feeling your back kind of relax. It's probably this unwinding in here. But these were, this one you can see, this one we just took when you were fatigued, and then this one you kind of fatigued again.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna wait, because your legs are balanced and you're standing a lot more centered. I want to see. Well, how much time do you have?
Well.
Oh, you got a flight.
Yeah, at 5:30.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Like sometimes we have people that come from a couple hours away. Like I'll literally, in this situation, I'd have them go in our zero gravity chair for an hour or something, and then re-X-ray them.
Well, I mean, on Monday.
Yeah.
We don't get in till 1 o'clock, and I said I would not be into work until at least noon.
Okay.
So if I need, if this is something we want to look at, then.
Yeah, we want to make sure, but it's just, like when you're standing much more centered, and then as you're sitting in the chair, it's just fatiguing.
Yeah.
So, and that happens, because we're a little short on time today. We're going to go, not going to do the nuca. Usually, a couple of things can happen. One, lots of times when you untwist that second bone, the body, it's like a two-phase correction where you're kind of unlocking the spine. So sometimes, like if your head's here, it goes here, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it unlocks it, but then you got to change the angle of the adjustment to then bring that head back centered. So it's kind of like you untwist it first, then you basically kind of drive the head over the body.
Yeah.
So that I don't. Based on how you're standing, I don't think that's what it is. I think we got it, but I just want to make sure next week.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there because you'll be in really good shape. We get your head centered, then you'll be in really, really good shape. And down the road, it'll be really good for your body's longevity and maintaining that exercise.
Well, yeah.
With this maturity of yours.
Right. I'm such an adult. Yeah, I'm very interested in the whole neck of it all, Just because I remember Corey last time, just being like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And also because I'd never really had, like when we were first in the accident, I've never really complained of neck pain.
Yeah. Yeah,
so,
and that's kind of crazy, but that's how the body is sometimes. The body's adaptive. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, the body's adaptive abilities are amazing. Let's just see. I just want to see your posture one more time, just to. Yeah, because your weight distribution is a lot more centered than yesterday. It's about a 50% improvement. Your legs balanced. So let's go face down. Let's just see if how everything's moving. Well, maybe can unlock a few other things. Lift your right leg again. Good, and the left. One easier, tighter.
I felt like the right was easier, honestly.
Yeah, look that. Where did you feel it when you lifted the left?
I feel mostly, it's all just really tight from like here along the spine down.
Down. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna just adjust that tailbone to free up the SI joints.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna go a little higher. There's two different ways we can adjust this. We'll see some people release in different ways. Go lay on your left side again, facing me. We're gonna go to the lower back bones, the lumbars. Let's see if we can release those.
Okay.
So we're gonna bend the top.
Okay.
Straighten the bottom. Good. And I'm just gonna come right here, right on that little. There we go.
Yeah.
And then we'll go face down. Let's see how it's moving, and then I'm gonna do one other adjustment.
legs.
Lift your right. Good. And the left.
Yeah, much
you can see
easier.
that. Yep.
Yep.
And go on your back.
That's so crazy. Just like a little,
Yeah.
you know.
There we go.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
And come on up. Just take a few steps, see if what you...
I mean, yeah, it's like,
Yeah, you can see you're walking free.
oh yeah, I mean, like, I don't feel, this is the first time, I mean, like, obviously it was exponentially better yesterday because I could, like, when we did the SI, like, that at that point, I could tell, like, where I would hinge, it was much better.
Yeah.
But this, now, I don't feel so, like...
Well, you're going to see you're over your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, your head's much more over your tailbone rather than...
Pitched forward.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the body will do that to offset the pressure when there's a lot of tension, swelling, whatever. So that's why when you see people like this, it's a protective mechanism, but
Yeah.
that's a really good sign.
I mean, I felt like even when I walked out of work today, like I just felt, I literally thought to myself, I'm like, I feel like I'm like hulking out. Like I felt like I was walking like this.
Just walk it out, man.
Yeah. And then I'm like, why do I just look like the Hulk? Like, I mean, it's just like, but
Just confident.
it just feels like now I just feel like I feel like I don't have to like protect my body when I walk.
Yeah,
That's what I feel like now.
Yeah. So we'll set you up for beginning of next week.
Okay.
Again, just take it easy. Walking's fine. Just don't do any like 10-mile hikes or anything to really exhaust a body. Make sure you sleep in a good position. And it's
Back, side.
Back is okay if you keep your head somewhat centered. You don't want to be like this. Side is my personal favorite. You just don't want your
Mine
head
too.
Kicked way up or way down.
Okay.
But as long as you have a pillow somewhat good, you're in pretty darn good shape on your side.
Okay.
Only other thing, this happens to lots of times with women. If you go to a hair salon and have your hair washed, don't tip it way back in the basin. Hold it up. If you're on any kind of technology, just try to be here.
Okay.
Especially in the beginning. And again, as your body gets used to being in alignment, you have a greater resilience, and then we'll get you back to doing everything.
Right.
But yeah, let's go get you set up for next week, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
All right, so we got Carly in here, and she was stable today and was able to sit, and we got some got a good nasum X-ray taken here with her true alignment. We get some nice improvement. You got, atlas laterality went from almost 3 to about 1.5. Head tilt went from 3.5 to about 2 3/4. The neck here, 4 degrees, about 3.5. So that's this line was 4. Now it's 3.5. This line was 8/16. Now it's 6/16. So everything has improved. We know there's less rotation in the neck from the x-rays the other day, and we know that the hips are more level. So everything has shown improvement. Her legs were balanced. We checked her real quick, and she is standing centered. So with all of that, we're just going to check her. We're going to check the pelvis, get her adjusted, and she's going to be good to go. And then we'll just probably, sometimes what happens with these is the muscles and the connective tissue, they have to get stronger. And lots of times you'll see the alignment slowly improve without doing any NUCA atlas adjustments. So we'll watch for that. We'll probably re-x-ray her again in a month or two. But for only 5 days since her first appointment and only 3 appointments, and only 1 NUCA adjustment, she's in really, really good shape. So this is great. So we're gonna go just adjust anything else, release any tension we find anywhere else. And then we'll see her probably twice a week for a few more weeks, and then go to once a week. And again, in a month or two, we'll take another one of these x-rays and make sure that this is continuing to improve or just holding steady on where it's at.